obviously the security of, hey, it's like if you wouldn't show it to a stranger on the street, right? Don't put it in one of the chats. I guess there's a weird, and you can kind of call that flexible since you guys share porn and whatnot with each other, but you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying, right? Hopefully. I'm excited. I want to see how we're making this less like enjoyable for me. Let's go.
With 63 billion messages, 285 terabytes of attachments, and 95,000 Discord servers being scraped, there's a website called SearchCord that allows you to search messages across Discord. And people are worried. Is this going to
Why does it look like one of the borrow sites?
Spying tool like spy.pet? And to answer that, I'm going to look into the website, but I'm also going to explain how you should change how you use Discord in the future. And
do they have a little anime mascot?
Now, first, so we understand everything, the reason why people are worried about SearchCord is the fact that there used to be a website called spy.pet. And what spy.pet allowed you to do is you could search for people's messages across Discord, but you could also search for people's profiles. And this is a problem because people would use this for harassment. You could find someone that you want to stalk across Discord and you know what servers they're in. And this data was sold to anyone that would buy credits through spy.pet. So spy.pet was making money by selling your data. People don't like their privacy being invaded on Discord, and the SearchCord thing kind of feels similar because
it looks like one of the borrow sites. It's so weird.
Searching up your name, finding things you're talking about. But believe it or not, things are a little bit different. Maybe for better or for worse. Because the point of SearchCord, right from the beginning,
their mascot is very
really
cute.
Meant for harassment. It's more to fix a problem that's happening on the internet recently. You see, with old forums dying out and AI slop taking over the internet, Discord has become a go-to place for discussion for many communities. For example, let's say there's like a GameCube modding Discord server. Imagine there's only a Discord server. There's no other information on the internet. You can't just search up your question on Google and then magically get your answer from a Discord server. In fact, you'd have to join the Discord server, or you'd have to hope and pray that someone made a Reddit thread about it, or someone has their own dedicated website.
Dude, those 10-year-old Reddit threads have carried me through so much shit.
You don't get information from public websites or from subreddits. Instead, the information is hidden in a Discord server that you can't just Google the answer for. And there might be like 20 Discord servers talking about your hobby or your GameCube or whatever. That
I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit, guys,
to find your one single answer. It makes everything harder if you're just looking for information. So that's the point of SearchCord. And I'm going to be honest, when I first tried it, I was pretty impressed. You can search for the extension PDF and you can search for MacBook PDFs. You get some MacBook Discord servers, but then there's Electronics Repair School. They have a chat by someone who says MacBook Pro and it leads to a PDF. So if you want to do electronics repair, the information's right there.
Boy, would I not click a strange PDF on the internet.
Right? People are going to use it for bad. I wanted to search and stalk one person on Discord, myself, because I'm egotistical. And you'll notice if you try looking for messages by a specific user, it stops you. It says, to prevent doxing, we do not allow searching by author without a guild
That's good at least, right?
ID. So you're unable to just track people across Discord by searching their messages and seeing if it's on this website. So far, things are looking pretty damn good. Except when you dig a little bit deeper, the concerns start popping up. If I go to my Discord server, there's a whole bunch of channels, and one that caught my eye is this Whimsical Wobbin channel. Now, this was some sort of event
that's
that
a very funny name.
May 24th, 2024. And the thing with this channel, if I just copy the good old ID up here and I paste it in my Discord server, you'll notice that this channel was deleted on August 5th. So all of the messages in here are deleted information. And the reason why they were able to see my deleted channel is because I asked them, how long ago did you start this? 2022 to 2023, which isn't really a problem. I mean, the people in here are just doing an event. They're running commands. The problem
I could see how this would be a problem.
Could possibly be saved. There's been a handful of times on my Discord server in the general chat where someone gets hacked, they're panicking. They use their phone to take a photo of their monitor, and the photo has like their whole full name on it. It has their personal email. It has all this information that they probably don't want on the internet. So we delete it. I've also, I don't know why this happened, but I've also had people who have accidentally sent screenshots of their home address. Don't ask me how they managed to.
How do you do that? What?
They managed to send their home address in the Discord server, so we delete it. The problem is that deleted messages get saved. So that information of that person's address could very well be on this website. Now the thing with my server is that we have a bunch of people yapping, but we also do have a support thread.
I'm sorry if this is wrong information. I remember a couple years ago seeing a YouTube video much like this, where it was something about, and as people who are more technologically like advanced than I am or understand this stuff more than me are welcome to comment or correct me. But this is just what I remember from a video, is that there was some kind of file or folder on your PC that every time you sent an image, it would create a copy of that image in like a hard compressed format, and it was just like a massive file of a bunch of shit you would have sent people over time. The Discord would just kind of save and collect, and everybody, like the people finding out about that, was like, what the fuck is this? Why would you do that? We live in such a weird thing now where people are so willing to give so much personal information to these big corpos, and it's all for the sake of convenience or entertainment. And we can't always trust them to protect us. Like, look at Sony. Remember what happened with Sony when they had the biggest fucking leak ever, right? You would think, oh, big, massive, big company, big money would have things in place to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen multiple times, by the way. But no, they don't. They don't at all. It's like, it's so weird. Even, I mean, because I do it, because there's a lot of stuff you have to. A lot of stuff for like business-wise that I have to, like, if I want to buy plugins, right? I buy a bunch of audio plugins, and every company that has their own like plugin, you have to make an account with them, put your payment info with them, then you have to also go through and download their installer and all this other shit. And you're entrusting these people who make these little plugins that we use every day to not like crash out our data. And I believe the company iZotope, which many professionals use in the audio world, especially for post-production, I believe iZotope had some leak not too long ago. Again, I could be mistaken on that, but I thought there was something about iZotope after they moved to Native Instruments where they had like a leak that came out or they revealed. Again, I could be wrong, but that's just what's in my memory. You're really trusting these fucking companies to keep your shit safe. And I think it's only going to get worse because it's like the kids like are getting kind of dumber online and putting their shit out there because it's like all they know. Where I think people in my generation kind of grew up with the idea of like, I hate having to make a account for everything now. This sucks. Or have that mindset of, hey, don't put things on the internet you don't want gone, especially pictures. There is like so many campaigns way back in like the 2000s. Like I remember growing up and seeing like, hey, be careful what pictures you put online because they are there forever. It does not matter where you put them. They are just on the internet for anybody to see. So be careful. It sucks.
We have like an FAQ to give people information, so it kind of makes sense. If people are looking for answers to their questions, then my server being archived, it makes sense. It'd be different if I was like an e-girl server, for example, and then that gave me a really bad idea. I went back to SearchCord and I searched for e-girl. And it turns out that SearchCord has a whole bunch of different e-girl servers that they have also archived. Now, riddle me this.
Why are there e-girl servers?
When I join this e-girl server, what sort of questions are popping up that I need archived to answer my burning questions? And I guess my burning question is why
Blake's hentai collection.
People have to use Discord for adult content. I literally could not have picked a worse Discord server to click on. But this also raises another concern. If we're looking for e-girl servers and I'm some weirdo on the internet, I could just search for like face reveal, and if it has an image, in fact, they have their own has image gallery true thing where you can just see images that people have sent on Discord. The problem here is that if it's just saving everyone's images, I went to the oldest images, and let me tell you, I have to censor that. This is clearly
hell yeah
nasty. This is lowly. Yeah, I'm not sure what sort of answers you're getting from this in terms of tech support. I think
it's
they're just scraping everything. And well, it turns out what happened is that aside from a few hand-picked servers, all of the servers that are archived on SearchCord are from Discord's server discovery platform. So when you go into Discord and you go to your little server discovery, every single one of these servers, if you sent a message in them, congratulations, it's now on the website. But don't you worry, because if you did not consent, you can opt out. We do not archive anyone who does not want to be archived. I hope you guys see the fallacy.
Yeah.
No one consented to their messages being put on some random website. When it comes to Discord users and
good on you,
like angsty teenagers, to them this is like their parents taking the door off their bedroom. It's a war crime. But people really don't like their private Discord messages being posted publicly on a website, even though
the whole thing of like, you know, you could always just tell us you don't want to be a part of it. We're opting you in without telling you you're a part of it. But you can always tell us you don't want that, right? That's cool. We're the good guys. We would never store your information if you didn't want that there. I hate that so much. Uh, there was an interview years ago with one of the heads of Google, and it was talking about Google saving a lot of people's information. And there was the one guy was like, hey, so like there's a lot of private information. Do you like feel it's okay to gather this much stuff? And the response basically was, nobody's looking at it. It's basically a robot looking at it. So it's not that it's not a problem. And like the businessman thing of like, you're going to ask me this question again and again, and I'm going to give you the businessman speak and avoid the question entirely. And it was just that again. And it's like, oh, just opting us into a thing that we don't necessarily want to be in, and then using some bullshit arbitrary nonsense to be like, but see, it's moral because of this. Fucking hate that. I hate that so much.
know it's on a public Discord server. I'll get into that. Really, the thing here I want to point out is that if you don't want your information on this website, there is a button to opt out. But if you own a Discord server and you want to opt out a Discord server, you need to join their Discord server and create a ticket. So that's what I did. I joined their Discord server, and the first thing I saw was from the owner saying, I think it's unfair that a Discord server owner gets to decide for all of their users if their content is visible or not. And this is coming from the one person who decides that your content is visible on their website. It's just laughable. Now here's
incredible.
I'm gonna flip the script for a second. You might not expect this from me, but so far I've been pretty negative. I mean, 63 billion messages that you have saved that you're just putting on the internet. There's a good chance that like people's personal information is in there. So when I ask the question, is this search cord thing a problem? Funny enough, my answer is no. But to explain why, there's two reasons why I don't think this is a problem, and then after that, I'm going to get into the real problem. So the first reason why I don't think this is a problem is that discoverable Discord servers are like public. Anyone can search for these servers, and the most important part is that when I click to join this Marvel Rivals server, I can see people's messages right now, but I'm actually
I can see his reasoning behind that.
I have not joined.
But it's the stuff I would want hidden that I want to stay hidden.
What I want to point out is that these messages that you're seeing, they are something that anybody can see and save, which I'll explain later. And that's for any Discord server that is discoverable, which is exactly what Search Cord is going through. At the end of the day, these are public messages, and people fail to understand that. That's kind of my big PSA here, but please, for the love of God, stop using random Discord community servers like a group chat. There are so many people that have sent images or screenshots of their address, their name. They've given too much information where you can dox them off of that. I have seen people posting their school. Would you post your school on Twitter? No. So
absolutely not. Jesus.
You posting it to a Discord server. There's 130,000 people on this damn thing. This is still the internet. Stop oversharing stuff. Now, let's get to my second reason why I don't think Search Cord is a big deal. And this is more of a devil's advocate take. Can you really say this website is bad or if this website is good? At the end of the day, it's a tool. Like being able to search for answers is brilliant, like PDF MacBook, finding MacBook schematics. Or maybe you're someone that's a little bit more in the gray area. You want to catch a predator or something. And believe it or not, you can search for condo servers.
Oh, it's the condo shit. Wait.
There will be vigilantes.
I see redo of Healer. Hell yeah. Watch redo of Healer. It show's awesome. Anyways, I'm sorry. I see anime thing and I'm like, I gotta look at it. Man, that condo shit's so weird. It's so weird. There are so many things we know are nefarious and bad and shit and prey upon people, and they're just so openly there, as well as they're named after the thing they're preying upon or going for, and it's just fucking nobody does anything about them. Like, oh god, there are words I want to say but I shouldn't say, but like crime thing here, crime thing the Discord, and then proof of crime things happening via that Discord. And then they just hang around. They're fine, I guess. I don't know how I feel about that. If it's just people being just shitty and edgy or whatever, I don't give a fuck. If they're doing that within their own place, their own privacy, it's whatever. I think it's when it's crossing over into something that does hurt another human being, or that isn't good, or that's non-consensual, or you know that kind of stuff. Like, right, that's the one where I'm like, no, they fuck you. Blah.
groups that use this to stalk predators and get information on them to send to law enforcement. Again, this is assuming that the vigilantes are actually trying to do the right thing by working with law enforcement and not trying to do some
Roblox condo server
where they make
the best provider of Roblox
body
condo.
slamming someone in a Target. You know which video I'm talking about. I can't show you it though, or else YouTube would get mad at me. But there are ways you can use this in a good way. But just like with any tool, you can misuse it. With SearchCord, some people might use this to harass people or stalk people across Discord. And just to give you a decent example, if you're someone with a unique username that's pretty short, like for example, people abbreviate my name to NTTS, right? For no other reason, you type in NTTS. And if you search for NTTS across Discord, for me, this is great. This can feed into my insecurities and see people talking about me and me realizing I'm not as hot shit as I thought I was, which is fine because I'm kind of a loser anyways. But if you have a unique username like Fortnite Vietnam veteran with PTSD,
that's awesome.
Okay, obviously this works better with short names. If you had like something unique like Cal's J or something, if that was your username, someone stalking you could just search it up and see if it shows up. Might actually be someone's name. It's genuinely just like Google. With Google, you can search up Honda Civic repair, but you can also use Google to dox people or to search up illegal websites or buy substances on the internet. Whatever.
Yeah, you
cancel
can.
Google now because it's just a search engine. Devil's advocate take. But let's get to the real problem. The owner of SearchCord said there is a 0% chance I am the only one scraping that server. And since we're talking about the
that means it's okay.
Finally get to talk about something that I have been like documenting for months. I think I have been sent either 3, 4, or 5 different websites like SearchCord just in the past month. And 3 of those websites were focused and advertised in cybercrime groups. We're talking about people that extort minors to go on webcam to do awful things. These websites, people might think, oh, it's just like SearchCord. It only looks through discoverable Discord servers to find victims. No, these websites specifically target smaller Discord servers that aren't on Discord's discovery. For example, they look at mental health Discord servers because if someone's in a mental health crisis, they're perfect to manipulate. It sounds bad.
I hate that image.
I think I'm giving people ideas, but no, this has genuinely happened. This has happened before. It's in court documents. This is what happens behind the scenes. There will always be websites that will save your Discord messages.
Always.
And can and will be used.
There will always be people out there to hurt
Discord
you,
law.
no matter what, especially on the
in
internet.
Malicious purposes to either extort you, dox you. It's a cesspool. And to make things even worse, I saw today that the owner of SearchCord has had at least 4 different people contact them and show them their scraped data sets with billions of messages. Always assume that your Discord messages sent anywhere outside of a DM, a group DM, or a small Discord server with your friends. Any messages sent outside of those, just assume that they're going to be saved and put on the internet. And if there's ever another spy.pet that surfaces that causes a huge outrage, you don't have to worry about it. But wait, I'm not finished yet, because right now everyone's
I really thought that was going to lead into an ad.
But in the same sweep of news, the same time frame of news, 404 Media released an article saying that researchers scraped 2 billion Discord messages and then they published them online. It's
hell yeah,
criminals or sketchy people on Discord that are saving your messages. It's like researchers too, and they just uploaded it for anyone to download. Now, to be fair, it's like anonymized, but the reason why I'm including this in the video is the fact that it shows you how flawed Discord is. You see, people are mad at these Discord scrapers, but they fail to realize that Discord actively lets this happen. Now, this is
they do.
my opinion, but
they let so much bullshit happen.
Never had to solve a single CAPTCHA to scrape any of this data, which means that any Joe Schmo, even myself, with the help of ChatGPT and maybe a whole bunch of caffeine, that'd be a great Gamer Subs plug right there. Use code NTTS, by the way, to get your anime caffeine.
Knew it. I felt it coming.
But you don't need to deal with CAPTCHAs, so literally any moron, including myself, could just make a bot that could scrape through people's messages. And what can you do about it? Absolutely nothing. If you go into your Discord settings and you go to data and privacy, there is...
Just because you can go on like, someone's going to sell this guy drugs anyways, it could just be me. It's so weird. Obviously, that's not a direct translation of what they're saying. I understand what they're saying by like, it's going to happen anyways. You can't escape it. It's other things are doing it. It's super easy and whatnot. But just because it's easy doesn't mean you have to. Just because other people are willing to do this doesn't mean you have to. And there's always going to be those people out there, right? No matter what we do. But you could have some slight, like, higher moral standing about it. Where I understand the point of, like, yeah, it's just a search tool. You can go and search your stuff and find, like, shit that is technically public, right? But to be weird about it, I think, is such an asshole thing to do instead, like, over it. I don't know why it's got to be like that.
There's no way to mass delete all your messages. Even though, to be fair, most of your Discord messages are already probably saved by one of those sketchy websites I talked about before. By the way,
Most
when you
likely.
delete your Discord account, it only anonymizes your message. It says deleted user. Again, if you're a stupid child and you sent your address or what school you go to, well, now it's just sent by a deleted user, which isn't like a cut and dry solution, right? In fact, things got so bad that I made a video where you had to use a loophole to get your messages deleted. And the reason why Discord doesn't want to delete your messages, according to Discord, is the fact that if a given text channel were suddenly missing important context, it would be confusing to other users or possibly mislead those users about what happened in that conversation. Discord, you want to know what's confusing to me? It's the fact that this problem will repeatedly come up. It consistently happens. We have spy.pet. There's dis.cool, which is the same thing long ago. We have searchcord. People aren't happy about their privacy being invaded. And there's still those 4 to 5 other sketchy websites that I haven't named. There are always going to be people that will save your messages, and Discord gives you no tools to delete all your messages to undo any up you might have done. Just remember that at the end of the day, Discord is still the internet. Always assume that your messages will be saved and published somewhere on the internet. Anyways, gamers, if someone finds a message from me talking about how I'm cheating on my wife, please do me a favor and send it to me so I can delete it. Just kidding. I don't have a wife. She's part of one of my delusions. Bye-bye.
A waifu, even. So that's one thing I'm actually very grateful for my friends, like my main friend group, is one, they're schizo about shit, right? I have one friend who he is so big into, he hates companies. He hates the idea of his stuff being scraped. He hates getting familiar with that and all that other shit. He has so much of this proprietary crap on his PC just dedicated to not being tracked by anything. And we're all very careful. And I think throughout the years, we've all been very careful as to not hand out anything personal within Discord. I've had people send me weird personal shit before that I would be like, hey, could you delete that when you're done talking about it, please? It'd be great. If you do, I don't know if it helps at all, but if you do say something like on Discord or show your information like that, delete it after the conversation is done at least. I don't know if that does help anything, but I would hope it could prevent something from happening. Yeah, it's the old rule of, like, I got told this as a teenager of, once it's on the internet, it's there forever. It doesn't matter where you put it. There used to be an old commercial on television, if anybody remembers this, where it is a young, like, teenage girl, and she posts an image of her laying on her bed in, like, some little cutesy pose. And it's supposed to be, okay, she puts it online, and it's the equivalent of her, she put it on, like, a bulletin board in school, and everybody who pulls the picture down basically got a copy of that picture. And it shows the creepy janitor man coming by and also taking a copy of that picture. And it was like the lesson of, like, hey, what you put online is there forever, so be very careful. You never know who's looking. I don't know if kids today get technology classes in school. I don't know how behind schools still are with how the world is. Because when I was in school, they were like, they didn't know how shit worked. They barely knew how cell phones worked. And we only had flip phones at the time. Like, yeah, you know, going to school before smartphones were like a big thing for everybody. Yeah. Stay safe. Try your best to stay safe, please.